today I'm going to be playing this Questline Demon Hunter deck that I stole from the competitive Hearthstone subreddit. And the reason this deck caught my eye is because it's playing Lion's Frenzy. And going into the expansion, I thought Lion's Frenzy was going to be the worst card in the set. By actually a pretty decent margin. I thought this card was terrible. But this deck plays 2 copies of it, and it seems to use the card fairly well. So basically, we're just trying to complete our quest line. That means we play a ton of card draw between Sigil Runner, Double Jump, Sigil of Alacrity, Spectral Sight, Acrobatics, even Glide, Stilt Steppers as well. So we basically just play a ton of card draw. Sometimes we finish the entire quest line, but we actually don't have to. It turns out the first 2 rewards are pretty good. And then we either kill the opponent with some combination of Lion's Frenzies, Chaos Strikes, and Furies, or against other matchups, we win by playing 0 mana Irebound Brutes. And we can also copy the Irebound Brutes with Philosophy, so we theoretically have 4 copies of them in the deck. And if we need it to, the Philosophy can also copy Bladed Lady, which functions similarly. To be honest, I didn't really have high hopes for the deck. I just had such a low opinion of Lion's Frenzy going into it. But so far I'm 9-5 with it, so actually performing pretty well. Maybe this is actually a real deck. Do I keep Glide? It's so ugly. I don't think I've had that much trouble finishing my early part of the quest line, so I don't want to keep it. Well, I guess I'm just playing Studies next turn and then Glide on 3. Pretty good chance that makes my opponent lose some cards as well. Well, whatever I take here... Actually, I guess I can just play the Sigil Runner. No, I don't want to play the Outcast card because I want the discount. But Sigil Runner is the best one to shuffle into my deck, which is what's going to happen to whatever I pick here. Man, Glide is so sick here. Oh, come on, give me a Fell spell. If Double Jump was a Fell spell, this turn would have been so disgusting. I kind of want to hold Double Jump as an activator, but if I play it, I can play a 6/7. That's got to be so good, right? Playing a 6/7. Turn 3. My opponent hasn't... Well, they played a Corsair Cache, but they've effectively not really even played a card this game. Oh, 8 armor. It's very impressive. I mean, I guess it's always Skull. It's pretty awkward, but the other cards are also garbage, so... Unfortunately, I won't be able to Skull next turn, because the discount is going to be eaten up by the Sigil Runner if I try to just play my hand. But with this hand, I can guarantee a quest activation on turn 6. Oh, Spectral Sight. I guess I just go for an activation here, and even if I miss, the Skull is still pretty likely to be good enough next turn. This is a Fell spell, so we'll go Chaos Strike, double Metamorphin, and then Sigil Runner. And we do want to play the Sigil Runner that's blocking Skull. And these get discounts, so I'm actually guaranteed to have to get my quest done next turn. I could play the double jump here because I don't need it, but I guess there's not much reason to. I'm actually not sure how the quest works if you draw too many cards. Actually, I guess I can never draw too many cards because Sigil Runner needs to be outcasted, so it's not like I can play both of these and then Skull. Love to see it.
Alas, poor warlock.
0 mana acrobatics. I don't want to play Sigil Runner or Acrobatics because they're both insane with Cartridge next turn. Oh, Big Warrior. Well, let's see if we can make Big Warrior into Dead Warrior. Probably pretty hard to kill them this turn, but I'll go for it. I have another Lion's Frenzy in my deck. I also have Spectral Sight. Gonna draw a card with Sigil next turn. I guess that doesn't really matter much. I think I just want to play Lion's Frenzy here. I'm pretty much guaranteed to draw my whole deck next turn, so this is going to have 7 power. It's not that big, honestly. But I have Stilt Steppers to make it bigger. Okay, that doesn't have Taunt. And actually, even if my opponent plays Taunts, I have 2 Bladed Ladies. Or even more if I need more. Alright, so assuming I hit both Stilt Steppers, yeah, I just have lethal here. Unless I just like somehow run out of card draw, which I actually don't think is possible. Plus I have Furies. Yeah, I don't think there's ever a world where I don't have lethal here. I am allowed to just play this, right? Oh wait, that does. Oh yeah, it does draw a card actually. All right, 26 power weapon. Pretty good. I would think I probably do pretty well against Mage. But we'll see. Double Jump is a nice card to have in the opener. Okay, Sigil Runner as well. So, turn 3. I was going to say turn 3, I can double jump and it either hits Spectral Sight or Sigil Runner pretty often, and I can complete the quest, the first part of the quest. But I drew one of the Spectral Sights, which is probably good, but does complicate things. This is not a fell spell, unfortunately. Well, I want to be able to outcast Spectral Sight next turn, so I want to play one of these cards this turn. I guess I'll go Sigil Runner because, oh, that's good. Sigil Runner because I think the things that I hit off double jump are like better than average to discount. Oh, my opponent also discounted all their cards. Seems like theirs was maybe a little more efficient. So I can actually double jump here and save the Spectral Sight. Is that good? Probably good. Interesting. I'm just gonna play the Murloc because it's kind of in the way of my outcast cards. Next turn I think I just want to play double Spectral Sight. Stilt Stepper. Probably just want to go for Spectral Sights. Hopefully I hit a Philosophy target here. Beautiful. I believe I can play one of my brutes here. Oh, I can play Chaos Strike double brute. That's pretty insane. Fuck it, Sigil Runner triple brute.
They will never catch me.
Probably should have spread them out a little bit better for something like Cone of Cold. Pretty good turn 4 though, I would say. I did play a little bit more of my card draw than I needed to last turn, so I'm stuck with only 2 Stilt Steppers to activate the last part of the quest, but I think I'm just not going to finish the quest line this game probably, and that'll be fine. Devolve's not good against the brutes. So I've got 10, 19, 20... It's pretty hard to hit lethal with Stilt Stepper, but Chaos Strike will do it. Well, that's probably an Ice Barrier, actually, so probably just not going to have lethal here, but that's fine. Vaporize hasn't been in Standard for like 5 months, but I still check for it every time. None of those cards draw more cards. Hey, 2 of those cards draw more cards. And Spectral Sight is in the perfect position. So if I find a Sigil Runner or a double jump, I can actually complete part 1 of my quest on turn 2. I don't know if it'll be worth using the coin, but that's something I could potentially do. I kind of played Philosophy here while it was outcasted. It's not super likely that I need my quest line to be in play this turn. but I just don't think there's that much reason to Philosophy Bladed Lady at this stage in the game. Illidari Studies. I guess I'll see what this can hit. It's kind of weird to play at this turn because if I hit Spectral Sight, it's not insane necessarily. Do I ever hold this? I don't think I hold it. There's Skull, but Skull is awkward. It's probably still the pick. I kind of wonder if this deck should just be playing Skull anyway. Like, yeah, it's slow, but it's also Skull of Gul'dan, you know? Actually, I guess drawing into stuff with Skull and then hitting it with the Questline doesn't really do anything, because almost everything in this deck is already going to cost 0 at that point. Let's go ahead with the Spectral Sight here, and then if I have to, I can coin out Acrobatics. Looks like I do have to do that, but a lot of discounts. So I can play Sigil Runner plus Brute. And then next turn I could go Fury, Fury, Chaos Strike, Philosophy, Bladed Lady, Bladed Lady. That's pretty insane. It is generally better to be hitting Irebound Brute with Philosophies, but it seems like the line of play I have is still good for next turn. Can also dump some cards so I can just Skull on 6.
I'm the hand of the king.
My opponent does have a really strong opener though. They could have had +1/+1 on their minion, right? They just traded with Goody 2 Shields before playing it. I would need to draw 3 more cards this turn, so in theory I could double jump into Spectral Sight. But I still have 2 Glides and a Sigil Runner. So I'm like 1 and 4 to hit it, that's not worth going for.
I grow impatient.
My blade just for show. Let's dance.
I guess it makes sense for me to just eat the 5 in this matchup. This is definitely more of a board-oriented matchup.
May the light grant you peace.
So they have 2 more minions that have +2/+2. That's not that much, actually.
Reporting for duty.
Acrobatics. So if I double jump here, I'd have to... I guess the acrobatics isn't that good. I guess I just double jump, and if I hit Glide, I just play it. Like, it's kind of good to shuffle my opponent's hand because they have 2 things that are buffed. My hand also kind of sucks other than the Skull, but I guess the Skull is pretty darn good. Let's see what I can hit here. Glide. So I could Acrobatics, and if I hit Sigil Runner or double jump, I would complete this part of the quest. I have 2 draws at 2 cards in my deck out of 14. I think this is just a Glide. Zero mana Irebound Brute, you say? Alright, you can concede now, Paladin.
The victory is yours.
Turn 5, by the way.
Illidan.
before mine.
Sigil Runner's pretty good, but I don't think it's a keep. I think I really, really want Spectral Sight. That's the best at activating things, usually. The Sigil of Alacrity is potentially quite good as well. I can play it going into turn 3, and then Chaos Strike plus either a Sigil Runner or a double jump would do it. It's a little bit optimistic, but I have a lot of card draw to hit one of those things. And there's one of those things.
Another happy guildie.
Easy Sigil. Wow, what an insane hand. I guess I complete with the Spectral Sight here because it's kind of hard to outcast if I don't play it this turn. Since the Glide is in the way.
I see.
So next turn I need to draw 5 if I want to complete the quest. I mean, I can just coin and play Chaos Strike, double jump, double jump. And there's a good chance that I can just double jump into a Spectral Sight or a Sigil Runner. And then I won't even have to coin if I don't want. Fireballed my face on turn 4. Nine cards in hand, that's fine. There's a Spectral Sight. Probably just play it.
I see.
And then I guess I'm just gonna double jump and coin my weapon. That'll be sick, right? Maybe I just play the Sigil Runner here. It costs 0 mana. But there are a lot of cards I could draw that would block it.
Time grows short. Demons?
They will never catch me.
How likely am I to finish this without playing Glide? I have 2 Chaos Strikes. Probably not very likely. Acrobatics. If Acrobatics hits 2 1-mana cards, I can complete here. It's not very likely to hit that combination. I think I'm just gonna Glide here and discard a bunch of cards. Seems kind of terrible, but I want to play Kurtrus. My opponent's not that far in their quest line. Let's go ahead and dump this card because it's 0 mana. I guess I could just play a couple Bladed Ladies here, and then next turn could be Chaos Strike Glide.
My blade just for show.
This seemed better. So the dream is that my opponent can't deal with these 6/6s and dies. But the secondary dream is that they finish their quest line but can't play Dawn Grasp, and I get to glide it into their deck. That would be sick. They have 4 mana to play 3 specific spells. Probably not going to happen, but it is possible. So Acrobatics compared to last turn can now hit the second copy of Acrobatics and still be good. I think I'm just going to play a Glide here. Do I want to shuffle my opponent's hand?
I grow impatient.
I think so, because they took the Wand Thief card, which in theory should be good for them. But they did play the Frost spell already, that's like the hard one. Maybe I just go Weapon plus Glide, hit him for 5.
I grow impatient.
No reason to play the more expensive one, since the less expensive one just gets reset when it's shuffled. So I did manage to finish the quest line, but I don't know if it'll be relevant. It might be relevant. Although I will say my double Stilt Stepper hand kind of looks like it just wants to kill my opponent next turn. Stilt Steppers do 4 each, so that's 8. And then I will have drawn a total of 3 cards for the turn, so that's 11. I guess if they deal with my 6/6s, I'm not likely to have lethal.
Another happy guilty.
Oh wow, are they not even finishing their side or their quest line here? I guess they just can't deal with my 6/6s, in which case they are pretty likely to die. Although I guess, just based on mana, I can probably only activate 1 Stilt Stepper, so maybe that's not true. And that's for sure an Ice Barrier, so the opponent's at 22. 22 seems like I should play Kurtrus.
Let's dance.
Check, just to make sure. This is card you draw, so it doesn't discount my hand, but it's still strong. I could burn Philosophy to play Metamorphin. I think that's fine, because I think I want my opponent to just die next turn. I don't really care about, I don't care about playing, like, multiple Irebound Brutes. It should be basically impossible for my opponent to kill me here, since they don't have their spell damage online yet. So it's just a matter of, do I kill them with my minions, or with my weapon? It would certainly be more fun if I could kill them with my weapon. Okay, that's a good start for the opponent. Fireball a minion. Mage fans hate to see it.
Not possible.
Stilt Stepper is probably just better damage than Acrobatics on average.
How's the weather down there?
My blades are just for show.
Skull's gonna be a bit expensive. 14 damage is not bad for a weapon.